Canada for Sport Canada is proud to support student or university sport across the country and congratulates youth sports on the leading role it plays in developing Canadian student athletes.
Le gouvernement du Canada et Sport Canada est fier d'appuyer les sports universitaires canadiens. Il tient également à féliciter e-sport pour le rôle de premier train qu'il joue dans la formation des étudiants athlètes.
Chase the glory for youth sports 23 national championships from coast to coast. Follow at Youth Sports CA on Twitter and Instagram for the latest updates. Catch every exciting moment of youth sports championships on CBC Gem and cbcsports.ca. All youth sports championships action is exclusively on CBC Gem and cbcsports.ca.
Visez-nous lors des 21 championnats canadiens e-sport à travers le pays. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux Twitter et Instagram à eSportsCA.
Bearburn Medical Supply is proud to be the official sports medicine and medical supply partner of youth sports. Check out bearburn.com for all of your medical supply product needs to keep you in the game.
Bearburn Medical Supply est fier d'être le fournisseur officiel de e-sport pour le matériel médical et les médecines du sport. Rendez-vous sur bearburn.com et retrouvez tout le matériel médical nécessaire pour passer dans la course.
This championship funded in part by a grant from Sport BC and the province of British Columbia.
Ce championnat a été financé en partie par une subvention de Sport BC et la province de Colombie-Britannique.
Thank you to our host partners of the championship.
Merci à nos partenaires hôtes.
Greater Victoria Sport Tourism Commission, Hot House Pizza, Pacific Coast Swimming, Speedo, Thrifty Foods, the UVic Alumni Association, and Sport BC and the province of British Columbia. Thank you as well to our host supporters of the championship.
Merci à nos partenaires hôtes.
1073 Virgin Radio, Enterprise National Car Rental, Marriott Victoria Inner Harbor, Murphy Pools, Powerade, Spanish News, The Times Colonist, and News.ca. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just about time to get our morning session started. We have a quick update on your team scores. Your top five, directing your attention to the scoreboard. In fifth place with 127 points, the University of Victoria. In fourth place, McGill University with 307 points.
U Sports on CBC, les championnats U-Sport, brought to you in part by, vous êtes présenté par Nike Team, Just Do It, faites-le. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings, le fournisseur exclusif des bagues de championnat U-Sport. Fox 40 celebrating a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport depuis 10 ans. Bearburn Medical Supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1976. Partenaire de sport universitaire depuis 1979. The Government of Canada. Le gouvernement du Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just about time. It's time to get started with our first event of the morning. This is going to be the 200-meter freestyle on the women's side event. Pardon me. Next up, after that, the women's and men's 50-meter backstroke, 100 breaststroke, 400-meter individual medley, 50-meter butterfly, and that will be concluding our session off for this short course prelims. Without any further ado, let's get underway with the women's 200-meter freestyle, Heat 1, Mr. Referee. With our first race of the morning underway, event 15, the women's 200-meter freestyle, the first of 7 heats to swim in this morning's prelims. A correction on the team scores. Those team scores first mentioned are the women's team scores up through the end of event 14. The men's team scores as follows. 5th place currently, the University of Toronto with 278.5 points. In 4th place at the moment, McGill University, 288 points. In 3rd place, the University of Calgary Dinos at 307 points. The University of Ottawa GGs are your runners-up on the men's side with 312 points. And leading the way for the men's team score, UBC Thunderbirds with 416 points. The top time here in the first heat of the girls 200 freestyle, 2:07.81 is in lane 4 for Ella Howe, University of Manitoba Bisons. Again, 2:07.81. Second place finish, Noor Bansal for the Waterloo Warriors, 2:09.30 in 5. Amelia Narduzzo was 3rd in 3. Women's 2 free, heat 2. At the 100-meter turn in heat 2, leading time is in lane 2 for Carolyn Caruthers of the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. Second place into the 100, Cassandra Sagekau for the Université de Sherbrooke. .50 meters to go. Your current 3rd place, Sydney Schemmelt, 1:34.47 at the 150 in 7. Top 2 unchanged. The finish in heat 2, a time of 2:06.06 for Carolyn Caruthers, University of Toronto, lane 2. Second place finish in lane 6 for Rosalie Carrier of the Rouge et Or. And 3rd place for Sydney Schemmelt. Moving on to heat 3 now for the women's 200 free. 100-meter turn here in Heat 3, the women's 200 freestyle. Leading time is lane 3, followed by lane 4. Thunderbird's Laura Willer at 1 minute .68. Rachel McInnes for the Ottawa GGs, 1:01.32. And Neva Scott Burris for the McMaster Marauders in lane 5 at 3rd. It was very close 3rd, 4th though. 3rd, 4th, 5th, in fact, I believe. 150 now, Willer, McInnes, and Scott Burris. Top time in Heat 3, Laura Willer for the University of BC, 2:04.06. Second place, Rachel McInnes, Ottawa GGs in lane 4. And we are moving on to our 4th heat now, the women's 2 free. Leading the way, 150-meter turn here in Heat 4, Tegan McKenzie for the University of Toronto. First out, followed lane 6, Kaylin McMurray, University of McGill. And current third as of the 150, 25 meters to go now, Université Laval. That is Janelle Guay-Boisvert. Tegan McKenzie with the top time, 2:03.82 in lane 1. Second place is Janelle Guay-Boisvert for Université Laval, and Kaylin McMurray for second. Third, 2:04.95. Heat 5 for the women's 2 free, Heat 5. Coming in towards our 100-meter turn, pretty close race in the inner lanes between the three UBC Thunderbirds women in this fifth heat of the 200 freestyle in the pool. Your current leader, though, is Isabelle Sarti for the McGill Martlets, 57.85 at the 100-meter turn. Followed Anna Dumont-Bélanger for the Thunderbirds in 4, and Sarah Godon for the Thunderbirds in 5. Narrow fourth place, Josie Field for the Thunderbirds in lane 3. Top time is in lane 2. Isabelle Sarti for McGill, 2 minutes 22. Second place, followed by third, Anna Dumont-Bélanger and Sarah Godon, both for the UBC Thunderbirds, 2 minutes .95 and 2:01:39. Women's 200 freestyle, heat 6. Check. Check 1, 2, check.
for Calgary Dynamos, 98-97. For the second place finish, Parker Brown, University of Canada, 150-88 in lane 1. And third place Mr. Jack Bentley in lane 5. Heat 2 now for ranks 2 to 3, Heat 2.
into the finish. Distinct lead here for Pablo Collin, another recent swimmer of the U Sport Swimmer of the Week. McGill University's Pablo Collin in fourth for first at 1:48.49. Second place for Paul McKenzie, University of Calgary Dinos, 1:48.93. Heat 5 of 5, men's 200 free. An interesting side note on that last race, McGill University's Pablo Collin, a second year at McGill, placing only 9th in this event. Last year at his first U Sport Championships in 2022, those U Sport champs in Laval, Quebec. Our fifth and final swim in the men's 200 freestyle. Kieran Stone leading for Western, 53.30 in 5 of the 100. Second, William Risk. Third, Bernard Godolphin. Risk representing the University of Victoria Vikes, and the University of Toronto Varsity Blues were third in 4. Again, that time, that position belonging to Bernard Godolphin. Moving up a position, Godolphin, 1:21.61, second place at the 150. U-Sport record, short course U-Sport record in this event is back from 2009, a time of 1:43.31 posted by Colin Russell. Top time in this event last year, 1:44.34, Blake Tierney. And top time this year in prelims short course, 1:49.24 for Kieran Stone, Western in 5. Second place for Bernard Godolphin, University of Toronto Varsity Blues, 1:49.37. Your event summary for this morning's prelim session. Pablo Collin with the top time, 1:48.49. Paul McKenzie, Noah Mascol Gomez, second and third fastest overall in this short course prelim session. Our next race up is event 23. This is the women's the women's 50 backstroke, event 17, the women's 50 backstroke. Five swims in this morning's prelim session in the women's 50 backstroke. Just a few moments before we get heat 1 underway as we set the backstroke ledges. Once again, event 17, the women's 50 backstroke, heat 1 of 5 prelims. Women's 50 backstroke, heat 2. In Heat 2, top time is 29.79, Nadine Daoud. 29.79 for the University of Calgary Dinos in lane 3. Heat 3 for the girls 50 back. Swimming in lane 5, University of Manitoba Bisons, Georgia Pengilly, a 9th place finish in this event last year in Laval, Quebec. Into the finish in Heat 3, it is the top time though for Hannah Johnson, University of Calgary, 28.97. Women's 50 backstroke, Heat 4. Your second fastest seed in the women's 50 backstroke, a 27.69 entry time for University of Toronto's Riley Carey in lane 4. Swimming in lane 5, 5th place in this event in Laval, Quebec last year, Haley Klenk of the University of Toronto. And it's the top time for Riley Carey, the University of Toronto Varsity Blues, 28.16. Second place, Eliza Hausman for University of Calgary. And we're moving on to our 5th and final swim in the women's 50 backstroke, again, Heat 5. Very high finish start there in lane 4 for your second place in this event last year in Laval, Quebec. Dora Moderchin, the University of Manitoba Bisons, a 5th-year swimmer for the team. Top seed is 27.35 for Moderchin. Top time last year, though, 26.45 was Daniel Hannes for UBC. And the U Sport record, 26.15 short course. Moderchin for first, 27.84 in 4. On the board now, the top 8 for the women's 50 backstroke. Moderchin with the top time, 27.84. Riley Carey, Elizabeth Ling, second, third. Your top 16 now. Event 18 is the next swim. 5 prelim swims in the men's 50-meter backstroke. And once again, your top 8 for the women's 50 backstroke. Third fastest time, 28:30 for Elizabeth Ling of McGill. Once again, event 18, heat 1 of 5 for the men's 50 back. Some smiles behind the blocks there. Behind lane 4, McMaster University's Cyrus Drabick entered into this heat 26.90. Top time here is Drabick in lane 4 for McMaster, 26.16. Second place for Freddie Chandler-Bass of the Dalhousie University. Heat 2 for the men's 50 back, heat 2. Off the blocks, through the turn, final 5. Top time in heat 2 is going to be, looks like lane 8, Noah Wagner there, 25.86 in 8. Second place, James Steele for the GGs, 25.89 in lane 3. Heat 3 now for the men's 50 back, heat 3. Only 5 heats in the men's 50 backstroke. Looking towards the end, our top seed not too far off the U Sport record. The U Sport record is 24.05 short course. This is a 2013 record. Top time in heat 3 for Dima Lim of the UBC Thunderbirds at 25.03. Lim, second place in this event at the 2022 Laval event. Ryan Jensen, second place in lane 5. We're moving on to heat 4 for the men's 50 back, heat 4. Placing third in this event last year, Chris Alexander, your second fastest seed in this event, swimming in lane 4, University of Lethbridge, entered in 24.54. Coming out It is Alexander, 24:91, not too shabby. 24:91 the top time in Heat 4 for Chris Alexander, Lethbridge Pronghorns. Only 600ths back for Vincent Lapierre, Université de Montréal-Carabin. And we're on to our fifth and final swim now in the men's 50 backstroke. Top seed overall in the men's 50 backstroke, 24.45. Again, not too far off the standing short course U Sport record from 2013. A UBC record for Kelly Aspinall, 24.05 is the standing record. We also have Commonwealth Games team member Stephen Calkins. Calkins finishing first, in fact, to a time of 24.49, the fastest time so far this morning. Fastest time in the event, actually, in fact. Top 8 on the board now. Calkins with the top time, 24.49 again. Chris Alexander, Vincent Lapierre, your second, third overall in the men's 50 backstroke this morning. Next up is event 19, the women's 100 breaststroke. 6 swims this morning in prelims. And in a moment again, your top 8 for the men's 50 backstroke. Third fastest time, the 24.97 for Université de Montréal. Vincent Lapierre. Women's 100 breaststroke, Heat 1. Three in the pool, and 3 are GGs. Morgan Schuster, Kayla Whitehead, and Kate Nielsen. Leading time for Whitehead, followed by Nielsen and Schuster. 34.48 in first place and 4 at the 50. Half wide lengths out front. Kayla Whitehead with the top time in Heat 1, 1:14.70. Second place for Kate Nielsen, 1:15.45 and 5. We're moving on to Heat 2 now for the women's 1 breast, Heat 2. End of Heat 2, the top time for Soo-Young Choi, University of Waterloo Warriors, 1:13.55 in 2. Top time, second fastest time, Taryn Lockman, 1:13.85. The Lethbridge Pronghorns in 5. And we're moving on to Heat 3 now for the women's one breast, Heat 3. Meter turn. Isabella Duncan leading for the University of Calgary at 33.56. Jenna Wall for the McGill Martlets, 33.94 in 7. And your third at the 50, Ella Collins for Acadia Axwomen. Meters to go. It's going to be a first place finish in lane 6 for Isabella Duncan of the Calgary Dinos at 1:11.46. Second in 5, Sandy Tremblay, Laval, 1:11.84. Third place finish, Ella Collins for the Axwomen in 2. Heat 4 now for the women's 100 breast, Heat 4. Half wide length out front, Shona Branton for Western, 32.55. Second place, Emma Spence for the Thunderbirds at 33.09 off the 50. And Tatiana Goyette, Université de Montréal, third in 3. To the finish, big stretch for Shona Branton, Western Mustangs, 1:08.06. Moving on to Heat 5 now for the women's 100 breaststroke, Heat 5. Fastest start there for Lauren Shearer in lane 6. The two first years in the inner lanes, UBC Thunderbirds for both Aloise Allen and Lishar Larchevêque. Lane 4, lane 5 respectively. Allen with a great lead here, 31.54, body length and a half. Over second place, Shannon Russell, University of Toronto, 32.59 at the 50. Current third, lane 6. That is Lauren Shearer of the Ottawa GGs. Into the wall for first place, Eloise Allen, 107.68. Second place for Lauren Shearer of the GGs in 6. And third is Shannon Russell for the Varsity Blues in 2. Women's 100-meter breaststroke. Our final swim in the event, heat 6. Tied for the fastest start there. In fact, no, fastest start for Nordquist. Hannah Nordquist for the University of Guelph. In lane 4 of this race, University of Toronto's Madeline Spencer, placing second in this event at the 2022 Laval U Sport Championships. Additionally, in lane 5, a 4th place finish overall in the event at the Laval Championships for Sophie Tarrant, swimming in lane 5. Off the 50, it is Megan Deering for Western, 32.44, followed by Marion Sinishin of the McGill Martlets. Top time is for Sophie Tarrant of the Vikes. 1:09.37. Not quite the fastest time of the morning. I believe that stands from the previous heat. Second place, though, is Megan Deering for the Western University. And on the board now, we have our top 8 for the women's 100-meter breaststroke. Eloise Allen, 1:07.68, top time, followed by Shona Bratton, Lauren Shearer. Event 20 is up next, the men's 100-meter breaststroke. We have 6 heats in this morning's prelim session. Just scrolling through our placings in the morning session for the women's 100-meter breaststroke. And again, in just a moment, your top 8 for the event. That third fastest time for Lauren Shearer of the GGs, 1:09.17. Moving on to the men's breaststroke, heat 1. Eight 100ths there between your top 2. Jack Haycock, the 51st out in 5 for the University of Ottawa GGs. Western University's Dawson Joel, 30.32. Jaden Bylaus for the University of Victoria for 3rd in 4. Bylaus with the top seed in this first heat, 1:04.24. Going to be finishing 3rd, though, in the first heat. Top time in Heat 1 for Dawson Zhou is 1:04.54. Second place for Jack Haycock of Ottawa GG's 1:04.88. Bilaus 1:06.20 in 4. Men's 50 100 breaststroke Heat 2. Fastest off the blocks in 6. Alejandro Gigi for McGill, a first year, coming to this race at 1:03.19. First out of the 50, Tristan Curry for Western Mustangs, 29.35 in 8, followed 1, then 2, Josiah Tareko for McMaster, and Acadia Axman for second. Third, Gordon Short in lane 2. It's going to be lane 1, Josiah Tareko, both on the outside for 1, then 2. Tristan Curry for second at 1:03.25. And your third place, 1:03.42 for Alejandro Gigi of McGill. Men's 100-meter breaststroke, Heat 3. Again, Heat 3. In Heat 3, top time is for Carson Beggs for the Manitoba Bisons. Happy behind the blocks there. Beggs at 1:02.28. Nice drop down, almost 8/10 from his entry time. 1:02.28, the top time here, or rather 6/10. And we are moving on to, just in a moment here, Cameron Brill for the second fastest time while we're waiting, 1:02.80 in lane 8 for second. Third fastest time in, moving on to the fourth heat now, the men's 100 breaststroke, Heat 4. Top time in Heat 4, under a minute here. Justice Mignot for the UBC Thunderbirds, 59.98. 59.98, the top time there. Second place is Frederick Kaminga in lane 5 for the University of Alberta, and it looked like it was Aiden Lugnar for the University of Calgary for a third place finish. We're moving on to our next swim in the men's 100 breaststroke, Heat 5 of the 6 heats in the swim, Heat 5. In first place, it is Apollo Hess for the University of Lethbridge. Second place in this event at the 2022 Laval U Sport Champs. 59.95 is the top time in our penultimate heat of the men's 100 breaststroke. 59.95. Second place, lane 3, followed by lane 5. That was second place for Ethan Hemian of the UBC Thunderbirds, and third place for Graham Aylward of the University of Toronto. Graham Aylward placing 5th in this event at the 2022 Laval U Sports. Our 6th and final heat now for the men's 100 breaststroke, Heat 6. First out, lane 4, your top seed in the men's 100-meter breaststroke, University of Toronto. First in this event in 2022, Gabe Mastromateo, the Olympian in the pool. 58.51 is the lead seed for Mastromateo. That is the standing U Sport short course record. Canadian short course record stands 57.10. It is a 2009 record by Paul Cornfield. 5 meters to go. Mastromateo, 58.94. Gabe Mastromateo for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues, 58.94. First place in lane 4. We have a second place finish for the University of Ottawa GG's Hugo Lemel at a minute .87. And third place, Noah Wagner for the GG's 101.03 in 3. We have a disqualification, event 20, heat 3, lane 1. Once again, disqualification, event 20, heat 3, lane 1. In a moment, we will have the summary for the men's 100-meter breaststroke. Top time, 58.94 for Gabe Mastromateo, heading into lane 4 in tonight's U Sport final. Our second, third will be Apollo Hess and Justice Mignot. University of Lethbridge and University of British Columbia. Again, we'll have our event summary up on the board in just a few moments. Once again, a quick recap since we had a disjointed announcement on the team scores, women's and men's team scores. On the board now, the event summary for the men's 100 breaststroke. Master Mateo followed by Hess and Mignot. Very close between Hess and Mignot. Looks like a good race between second, third tonight at finals. Looking again at our team scores, women's leading 3, University of Calgary, 321 points as of the end of event 14, last night's final session. 436.5 points, UBC Thunderbirds. Leading the way on the women's side, 479 points, University of Toronto. On the men's side, leading 3 rather, University of Calgary Dinos at 307 points. A further 14 points up from that, University of Ottawa GGs at 312 points. And your leaders on the men's side, 416 points, the UBC Thunderbirds. Here's top 8 again on the board for the men's 100-meter breaststroke. Heading into tonight's championship final. And it is time to move on to event 21, the women's 400-meter individual medley. 5 swims in this morning's prelim session, heat 1. Our first of the 5 swims in the women's 400-meter individual medley. Leading time into the breaststroke turnover, 2:21.40 is Isabella Brunoro for the University of Victoria. Claire McLeod for Western Mustangs, 2:26.14 in 5. And we have Marianne Métallier for Université Laval for the Rouge à Tort. 100 meters to go in heat 1, 3:52.52. Half second up from that, Claire McLeod at 3:53.07. Bikes followed by the Mustangs in 5. Current third, Amelia Baralt, UBC Thunderbirds in 2. Into the flags, great final 100 for Amelia Baralt. Second at the 50, first at the finish for the UBC Thunderbirds. 5 minutes 11, just ahead of Claire McLeod and Brunaro for third. McLeod here second, 5 minutes 8.5. Again, your top time in the first heat, 5 minutes 11. Baralt for first, McLeod for second in 5. And the third place finish, Isabella Brunaro for the bikes, 5:04.89. Women's 400 freestyle, heat 2. .200 meters in, we have 2:21.35 is the leading time in lane 5 for Isabella Mastroianni of the University of Guelph. Second, third, 2:22.02, 2:22.31, Jade Lowe for the UBC Thunderbirds in 3. and Kristen Poletto for the McGill Martlets in lane 2. Quickly gaining ground, 50 meters into the breaststroke. Now Poletto very close behind, only 2/100ths behind Mastroianni in lane 5. Current thirds is Emma Mitchell, University of Calgary. Poletto 3:03:23 in 2. "50 meters to go. Poletto up to first as of the freestyle transition for 2094 now with 50 meters of free to go. Mastroianni followed by Mitchell. Those two placings unchanged. One's 4:21, 4:24:16. Top time is for Poletto, a time of 4:54:43 in lane 2. 4:54:43 for Poletto in lane 2. Second place for Isabella Mastroianni of the University of Guelph Griffins, and Emma Mitchell for the Calgary Dinos. Third place in lane 4 at 4:56:22. Women's 400-meter individual medley of our 5 swims in this event. Moving on briefly to our third swim. Women's 400 individual medley, heat 3. Taking a quick peek at the start list, 4:55 is the entry time for 5 of our 8 prelim swims in this race. The fastest entry, 4:55:49. The slowest of those 5, 4:55:97. Only a 5/10 difference between those 5. Those are lanes 2 through 6. In lane 4, Kashua Dreyer for the University of Calgary. In lane 5, Juliette Davidson for Universitaire Laval. And in lane 3, Rosalie Davidson, UBC Thunderbirds. All those 3 aforementioned swimmers also first-year swimmers, their first U Sport champs here. 100-meter turn. It is close in the center of the pool. Kate Tuck at 106.72, 106.74 for Dreyer, and 107.30 for Juliette Davidson in lane 5. 200-meter crossover. Davidson out 2:22.14. Kate Tuck 2:22.37. Turnover here though. Kate Tuck now into the second 50 breaststroke, first in 6, 3:04.49. We got Tina Guan for the University of Toronto in lane 2, 3:04.99, and Cashwood Dreyer up to third and 4. Into the freestyle, big changeover once again. Guan up to first, 3:46.32 into the final 100. Kate Tuck 3:46.99, 3:48.49 for Dreyer, third in 4. Guan with the lead into the final 50, 4:21.61, Tuck 4:21.72, and Davidson up to third in 3 for the Thunderbirds. Final 5 meters to a first place finish. Rosalie Davidson, UBC Thunderbirds, 4:54.47. Second in lane 6 is Kate Tuck for Dalhousie. And third place, Tina Guan for the University of Toronto, 4:57.28. Women's 400-meter individual medley, heat 4. 100-meter turn in Heat 4. Nina Mullen for the University of Toronto, first year for the Varsity Blues, 1:04.79. Leading the way in lane 5, Anna Hine, 1:05.48 for second in 3, also for the Varsity Blues. And it looked like it was Nikki Van Noord for a third place. Close, though, between third, fourth, and fifth. .3:37.90, 5-meter lead for Nina Mullen, University of Toronto, into the freestyle 100. Erin Epp for University of Victoria, 3:43.19 in 6 for second, and Hine for University of Toronto, 3:43.96 in 3. Final 50 for Mullen, entering for 11.95. Top three well separated into the last 50. Crossing the 5-meter boundary at 4:40, entered into the race, 4:44.19. It'll be a 4:44.12. Finish here, 7/100ths under her entry for Nina Mullen of the University of Toronto. And 4:44.12 in lane 5, your top time in the fourth heat of the women's 400-meter individual medley. Second place, Erin Epp in this heat, 4:49.78. And third, Anna Hine, University of Toronto, 4:49.85. Our final swim now for the women's 400, heat 5. Coming into the flyback turnover, the 100-meter turn, Alexa Gold with the leading time, 1:04.91 in first out in 4. Alison McCloy for Dalhousie, 1:05.97 in 3. Cameron Stannard, 1:06.23 in 2. Bit of past history here. Alexa Gold with the first place finish in this event in the Laval 2022 U Sport Championships. Entered in here at 4:38.88. The short course U Sport record stands 4:34.76. This is all the way back from 2014, and it is a UBC held record by Erica Seltenreich Hodson. Swimming in lane 3 of this race, a 4th place finish last year for Alison McCloy of Dalhousie. University of Alberta's Olivia Brenzen, 3rd place in this event last year in lane 5. And Daphne Danilou for University of McGill Martlets, a 7th place finish in 2022. Back breast turn. And a crossover for Olivia Brenzen in 2nd place, 2:18.94. 2/10 back from 1st place, Alexa Gold, 2:18.73. And Daphne Danilou for your current 3rd. .100 meters to go now. 3:42.59, 42.62, 42.73. About a 10th between 1st, 2nd, and a 10th further between 2nd, 3rd. Gold with a narrow lead. McCloy following 2nd. Brenson for 3rd and 5. Right away, though, turnover. McCloy up in front by a half wide length with 50 meters to go. Into the finish, body length over top of 2nd place, Alison McCloy, Dalhousie Tigers, 1st in 3 at 4:48.00. Not quite the fastest time of the morning, but pretty good nonetheless. Alexa Gold, 4:49.16 for 2nd in lane 4. Your top 8 now, Nina Mullen, followed by Alison McCloy, Alexa Gold for 3rd, 4:49.18, the 3rd fastest time. While we are scrolling through our women's results from the preliminary session, a quick update to swimmers and coaches, athletes and coaches. Directly following the conclusion of the men's the men's 50-meter butterfly, we will have a swim-off in the men's 100-meter breaststroke. So again, that swim-off taking place directly after the conclusion of event 24, the men's 50-meter butterfly. Next up, event 22, the men's 400 individual medley. 4 swims this morning, heat 1. ...200-meter turn, spinning through 2:06.29, Ricardo Camuso for McGill. Alejandro Gigi for McGill, second out, 2:11.61. And Javier Pimentel for University of Calgary, 2:11.89 for third in 6. .100 to go for Camuso, turning into the freestyle, 3:23.88. Gigi, 3:25.77 with Jack Haycock for the Ottawa GGs, third and 5 at 3:27.81. Strong finish in two for Ricardo Camuso. McGill Redbirds 4:25:22. Second place finish for Jack Haycock, Ottawa GG's 4:27:65 and it is third in six for Javier Pimentel of the Calgary Dinos. Men's 400-meter individual medley, Heat 2. Crossover there. Sergianis in the lead in lane 5 at the 200-meter mark, 2:06.79. Matthew Sergianis for the University of Regina Cougars, followed Robin Domingo and John Martin for both swimmers for the McGill Redbirds. Lane 8 for second, Domingo, Martin for third and 4. A 50 later, Tristan Shands up to second place, 2:46.91 in 1. Sergianis still for first, John Martin for third. Into the freestyle, Sergianis 3:22.42 in 5. Shands in 1, 3:23.05, and Martin 3:25.18. Final 25. Sergianis and Tristan Shands for McGill on the outside in lane 1. Top time here is 4:22.40 for Matthew Sergianis. Regina Cougars for first and 5. Second place, Tristan Shands for University of McGill, 4:23.97. And third place finish for John Martin of McGill, 4:26.50. Men's 400 meter individual medley, heat 3. Just past our 100-meter turn, body length lead over in lane 3 for Brendan Van Herk of the University of Ottawa. Bit of history, some stats in this race from the previous U Sports cycle. Swimming in lane 4, Hugh McNeil for the UBC Thunderbirds, finishing second in this event in Laval. In lane 5, Brody Young, third place in this event last year's U Sports, also for the UBC Thunderbirds. Sixth place in lane 2 last year, we have Diego Paz for the University of Alberta. Paz, a member of the 2022 FINA World Junior Open Water Championship team that headed to Hawaii. And in lane 6, another junior development team member, University of Toronto's Benjamin Lowen, a member of the Junior Pan Pacific team. Crossover at the 200, Hugh McNeil at 2:02.37, lane 4. Brendan Van Herk at second, 2:05.52 in 3. And Ben Lowen, 2:05.91 in 6. Chasing down first place, turnover now. Brody Young for the Thunderbirds up to first, 3:18.47, 3:18.99. Hugh McNeil for dropping down a position to second and 4 into the final 100. And third is lane 1, Colin Shearer for the Ottawa GGs, 3:21.55. McNeil citing Young and now pacing here, 3:50.13 and 1600s up. Young for 1600s down rather. This is Brody Young. McNeil back on top. Tenuous lead though into the final 25. Out in front, McNeil putting on the afterburners, coming on strong through the final 25. Will be finishing first here, short of a... Oh, here comes the stroke rate. It's good for... Touch is for McNeil, 4:19.59. Not quite enough there. 8 100s back for Brody Young at 4:19.67. Good effort, not quite enough. 4:19.59, the top time in Heat 3. And Young for second in lane 5. Heat 4 now for the men's 400 IM. Off the 100 now in the fourth and final swim, the men's 400 individual medley prelims. Lane 4 of this race, first place last year in Laval, University of Toronto's Jacob Gallant, your top seed at 4:08.39. In lane 5, Romain Van Moen for the McGill Redbirds, fourth place last year. And swimming in lane 1, FINA World Champs team member, the Budapest World Champs, Richie Stokes for the University of Calgary. Currently leading the way at the end of the backstroke, 2 minutes on the clock. Now 2:03, 2:02.97, Richie Stokes on the turn. First out, Jacob Gallant for second now in lane 4, and Nathan Versfleiss for the University of Calgary. 2:05.12 is your third into the breaststroke 100. Dropping down a couple of positions, Stokes at third into the second 50 of breaststroke. Gallant followed by Versfleiss, your top two. Meters to go for your leader now, 3:16.00, Jacob Gallant for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues in 4. Nathan Versfleiss, 3:19.17 in 3. And now out of the top 3, Stokes at 4th, Charlie Scalenda, a Junior Pan Pacific team member in lane 5, lane 7. Jacob Gallant, 3:46.77, final 50. Stokes gaining some ground here, back up into the top three, 350.93 at the 350. Not going to be enough for second, not going to be enough for third either. Gallant for first in 4:17.37 in for the University of Toronto. Again, 4:17.37 and 4 for first place. Good setup for the afternoon session. Romain, that was second place for Nathan Verslice, 4:18.60, second in 3. And on the board now, your top 8 Gallants with the top time this morning. The end of our scroll through the men's 400-meter individual medley. And again, your top 8 just for a moment. Gallant followed by Verslice and McNeil, 4:19.59, the third fastest time this morning. Event 23, the women's 50-meter butterflies up next. 7 heats this morning. Heat 1. First in Heat 1 is Keaton Nielsen for the University of Ottawa, a time of 29:88. Second place there, Georgia Pengilly, University of Manitoba in 7. And we're moving on to Heat 2 now for the women's 50 fly. Through the final 5 into the finish, looking pretty good in 5. Nope, it is lane 1. Kayla Whitehead for the Ottawa GGs, 29:23. Second place, Heather Aylward for the McMaster, 29:43, followed by Jen Wall, third in 6. Heat 3 for the women's 50 fly. Into the finish in Heat 3, top time for Julianne Moore, University of Calgary, 28:56. Second place for Hannah Gallagher, University of Waterloo Warriors, Heat 4, women's 50 fly. Top time stands from the previous heat, 28.56. Again, that time for Julianne Moore of the University of Calgary, coming through the final 5 meters now in heat 4, out in front by a narrow margin, lane 4. It is Amelia lane 5 rather. Amelia Master-Mateo from McGill, 27.98. Women's 50 fly, heat 5. Top time is in lane 1. Eloise Allen for UBC Thunderbirds, 26.77. And up next, rather, heat 6 of the women's 50 fly, heat 6. Off to 25, coming to the final 10. Your second fastest seed in the event, 27.08. Manitoba Bisons, 4th this last year in Laval. Dora Moderchin, top time for Moderchin, in fact, 26.898 rather. Second place, Josie Field, UBC Thunderbirds in lane 6, 27.73. Final swim for the women's 50 fly. This is heat 7. Off they go, and our final swim again for the women's 50 fly. Top seed is Anaïs Arlandi for the Université de Montréal Carabin. Entered in 26.72 in lane 4. Top time at 2022, 26.39. That was Rebecca Smith. Top time here, Anaïs Arlandi with a time of 27.35. Not the fastest time of the morning. That's 26.77, I think. Second fastest time, rather, Isabel Sarti for McGill, 27.37. And third fastest in this heat, Rose Garcia, 27.56 for the Thunderbirds. On the board now, your top 8. Eloise Allen, 26.77, followed by Dora Moderchin and Anaïs Arlandi. Next up, men's 50 butterfly. 9 swims for this morning's prelims. Event 24, the men's 50 meter butterfly. Just about through our heat summary for the women's side of the event. And again, your top 8 on the board momentarily. Third fastest time, 27.35 by Anaïs Arlandi. Men's 50 fly, heat 1 of 9. Into the finish in Heat 1. Top time is for Robin Domingo of McGill. It is 25:56. Second place for Ambroise Petit, University of Laval, 25:68 in 4, with Tristan Curry for third in 5. Heat 2 of the men's 50 fly, Heat 2. It looks good for lane 2. Hashim Haba for University of Ottawa in 25:40. Second place in 1, Cole Westendorf of the University of Victoria. And third, Samuel Pay for Waterloo. Heat 3 now for the men's 50 fly, Heat 3. Top time here in Heat 3, it is 24:96. Jamie Demers, University of Ottawa, GGs. And 24:96. Heat 4, men's 50 fly. Into the finish time of 24:84 for Jack Cameron, UBC Thunderbirds in lane 2, 24:84. Heat 5, men's 50 fly, Heat 5. Looks pretty good in lane 5 as of the 25. Kent Goni Avila for the Wilfrid Laurier University, touching first here in a time of 24:37. Second in this race, Cyrus Drabnik for McMaster, 24:91. Heat 6, men's 50 fly. Fastest reaction time here for Liam Weaver, University of Toronto in lane 6, entered in at 24:92. Leading the way, lane 4, Gabe Mastromateo for the University of Toronto, 2020 Olympic team member. Top time for Mastromateo is 24:39. Second in this race, Ian Friesen, University of Calgary, 24:52. Heat 7 now for the men's 50 fly, Heat 7. In lane 4 of this race, third fastest seed overall, University of Calgary's Stephen Calkins, a member of the Commonwealth Games team, headed to Birmingham this past season. Third seed, as mentioned, Keir Ogilvy, 7th in this event, 2022. Top time is for Calkins, 23:57. Hazem Iza, 23:68 for second in 3. And now Heat 8 for the men's 50 fly. Third in this event last year in Laval, University of Ottawa GG, second fastest seed in the event, Alexandre Perrault in lane 4. 25 in and under the final 5 now, looking good actually in lane 5 for Sulan Ho over the UBC Thunderbirds. It's going to be Ho at 23:68. Alexandre Perrault for second in lane 4. Ninth and final heat for the men's 50 fly, Heat 9. Reminder, after the conclusion of this heat, we have a swim-off in the men's 100-meter breaststroke. Your second place finish last year in Laval, Dima Lim swimming in lane 4, top seed at 23:57, and fourth in the event last year, 23:88 was Alan Owen Allwood. Fourth for Allwood. Top time for Dima Lim, 24:12, and not the quite fastest time in the heat in the event either. Your top 8 now on the board: Stephen Calkins, 23:57, Sulan Ho, 23:68, Hazem Iza with the second fastest time. And scrolling through the remainder of our results for the men's 50 fly. As we scroll through our results, University of Toronto and McMaster, let's make some noise for these two boys in the men's 100-meter breaststroke swim-off. Nicholas Bulbin in lane 4, Josiah Torreco in lane 5. And shortly on the board, once again, your top 8 for the men's 50 fly. Your A finalists. And moving on to our swim-off in the men's 100-meter breaststroke. Mr. Referee. tied up at 22nd place. It's 1:02.93 for both of these swimmers earlier on this session. 29:13 for Baldwin at the 50. 1/100th back. Tureko 29:14. No ground given here. 25 meters to go between Nicholas Baldwin and Josiah Tureko. University of Toronto in lane 4 and McMaster in 5. It's out in front now in lane 4 for Baldwin. It's 5 meters to go. Not quite a half wide length, but it still will be first. Baldwin at 1:02.09, well under his time earlier this morning. Okay. Strike a pose at the end there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this morning's preliminaries session. We'll see you back here tonight for the finals beginning at 5:50 this afternoon. We'd like to thank a few of our partners.
Merci à nos partenaires.
Nike Team, proud to be the official performance apparel provider of U Sports, encouraging all student athletes.